So let's go ahead and add an actual electricity bill. Select the top right hand corner options and then choose actual bills. Here what we'll do is choose the green plus symbol, which will then provide us with a new row to enter data from. Take your electricity bill that you've received and enter in the information that you see here. There would be a bill date on that bill. There's the kilowatt hours used on that bill for just the period that the bill defines. If it's a 1 month or 2 month bill, that's the amount at which you'll enter in here is the kilowatts per hour used. The total cost owed on that bill would be just for electricity itself. It won't include any interest, but it will include all the taxes portions that you've paid. So everything included, any deficit reductions, any sort of extra cost will be included in this total owed for the bill. Then for each of the columns for the time of use, both for the on-peak, off-peak, and mid-peaks, look at your bill, and there you'll probably notice a number which represents how much of the kilowatt hours used were spent on peak, off-peak, and mid-peak. Simply enter those values. From there, clicking on the refresh, it will calculate the percentages that you use for on-peak, off-peak, and mid-peak. So this tells me that of my electricity I used during this 1 month period, 21% of the time it was used on peak. So if we're trying to save money, we want to get away from using things on peak and moving more toward the off peak if possible. You'll notice in my history of bills here that from September to December, I have a smaller amount of mid-peak used in September, but a larger amount in December, and that's logical because the winter months generally mean we use more than mid-peak period. But likewise, when you look at my September to my December period for on-peak, I have had a higher on-peak in the summer. Again, that's because electricity is being used for air conditioning perhaps, and then less within the winter months. Next, what we'll do is look at how we can save money by understanding this information by selecting the graph on the top left-hand corner. Within this screen, you'll notice the peak periods, on peak, off peak, and mid peak, the percentage that's calculated from the bill we just entered, which shows 21%, 53%, and 26%. From this, it shows us what our cost is per room, and the largest consumers of electricity are the ones which are viewed at the top. So from here, what we do is, if we don't agree that our clothes dryer will be used 21% of the time on peak, and instead we think we're going to do it on off peak, then make sure that 98% of the time or 100% of the time you are using off peak by selecting the box and simply entering in your percentage. These 3 boxes must total 100%. So if you're putting 98% here, you can distribute 1% here or 1% on this side of the equation as well. So for instance, if I look at my kitchen and I tell myself that I know my fridge is only going to be used 50% of the time during on peak or off peak, 25% mid, and 25% on. Once I've done that, you'll notice it says $14.24 is my revised monthly total. I press the update, and I've increased it to $15.23 because I'm increasing the percentage here from 21 to 25%, so my cost will increase. So do this for each of the items within your home, and then that becomes your plan on how you're going to help reduce costs. On the top left-hand corner again, you will see a revised monthly cost. This tells me that my revised monthly cost is $63.82 instead of my current cost of $100.53, which means you can save $36.71 with these changes. So as I make changes to this, it revises my current cost predictions. So my bill I entered was $100.53, but if I do these changes, the bill would be $63.82. And this is where you can make use of time of use to shift items around, and that becomes your plan on how to actually live on trying to save electricity. You click the update button in the top right hand corner, which updates the content, and there you go. I hope this was helpful.